All right. Hey, shalom, shalom. I'm going to start by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Akakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing salutations to the house of David being built back up in these last days. And pretty much I want to get into a lesson on casting your burdens upon the Lord. All right. The Lord, Yahweh Shai, told us that his yoke is light. And so when you cast your burdens on the Lord, that leaves you with more opportunity to do the work. All right, you're stress-free. You can do the work. Now, we still worry about, different things of that nature, having to pay bills. But the main priority and our main focus is doing this work. And guys have not casted their burden upon the Lord. And that goes to show that guys really don't trust in the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. They ultimately don't trust Yahweh Shai, that he said that he's going to deliver us out of every situation. Guys are still worried about, their woman. Guys let their woman rule over them. They have their head stuck up their woman's ass. They're worried about the different things of this world, not paying attention to the prophecies, not really going in depth to the topics that they really need to talk about, because they haven't casted their burdens upon the Lord. You see? So there's a sense of freedom that comes with that. And the freedom that we have now, and there's, while the ark is still open, we use that to push this work, because this work is the only thing that's gonna that really matters in these last days, man. The work is the only thing that matters. These damn demons, man. But pretty much, let me get some scriptures, man. I'm not gonna stay here that long. These demons are all around me. So this is Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 3. Thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. Trusting in the Lord forever, for in the Lord Yahweh is everlasting strength. For he bringeth down them that dwell on high, the lofty city he lays it low. He lays it low even to the ground, he bringeth it even to the dust. The foot shall tread it down, even the foot of the poor and the foot of the needy. All right, and this is where we get our strength from. We don't get the strength from our own means. We get the strength from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because we trust in the Lord. And this is why you have to cast your burdens on the Lord. The Lord wants to see if you're going to trust in him in every situation he puts you through. All right, and this is where guys fall out, because when you go through the fire, that's a trying period to see if you're going to keep your integrity. And guys, they're not meant for this. They're not built for this. And this is why when they actually go through the trials and tribulations, they can't handle it. They end up falling out. All right. So pretty much the Lord is going to keep us in his bosom in these last days, the ones that trust in him, the ones that have casted their burden on him. All right, because we don't got no help in ourselves. The scriptures compare Jacob to a worm. All right, so pretty much we cast our burden on the Lord in the form of doing this work. This is the only thing that matters in these last days, man. Nothing else matters, man. All right. So I'm going to get another precept. In the Blue Letter Bible, let it pull up real quick. Psalms 27 and verse 9. Matter of fact, let me jump up. And it says, verse 7, Hear, O Lord, when I cry with my voice, have mercy also upon me and answer me. When thou sayest, Seek ye my face, my heart says unto thee, Thy face, Lord, will I seek. All right? Hide not thy face far from me, put not thy servant away in anger. Thou hast been my help, leave me not, neither forsake me, O Yahweh of my power. When my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take me up. Teach me thy way, O Lord, and lead me in thy plain path because of my enemies. All right? So the Lord, we cry unto the Lord day and night, you see? So if you're coming in the spirit of the Lord, if you're coming in the spirit of teaching this whole truth, not trying to be politically correct, eating the whole roll and teaching the whole truth, you're going to have enemies, man. This is why we cast the burden on our Lord. We trust in the Lord and we do his will in order for him to protect us. He does that by imputing his spirit upon us. The spirit is the one that protects us, that guides us, man. That gives us that spiritual discernment, all right, in which actions we have to take to make sure that we're staying on this straight and narrow path. You see? So there's a lot of help. There's a lot of benefits that the Lord will, give you through the Spirit when you cast your burden on him. See, we're not worried about this current life. A lot of guys' minds just still caught up in this life, man. How they can please the woman. Now, if you're married, You take care of your business. But always remember, the scriptures say those that marry be like those that are not married. Because why? Because the time is short. You know? So pretty much, let me get another precept. This is Psalms chapter 55 and verse 22. It says, "Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. But thou, O Lord, shalt bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful man shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee." Right? Bloody and deceitful men are not going to live out half their days. Why? Because the Lord's not going to protect them. You know, that covering is being taken off of dudes because they don't trust in the Lord. You know, and the thing is, men look up to these dudes. Why? Because they have the accolades. They have gotten to a certain point where men look highly upon them, where they're respected. But the Lord's not looking at them in that way, man. This is why we don't judge men based off of appearance, but we judge righteous judgment. We judge based off the spirit. We judge what guys are doing for the Lord in these last days, if they have the fear of the Lord or not. And we're not going to be hanging around no damn dudes that are lukewarm, all right, that don't have the fear of the Lord. Why? Because that dude can completely flip out on you. That dude can switch up on you because he's really in the spirit of Satan. So you don't know what's going to happen when shit hits the fan and that dude was never sincere in the first place. You don't want to be near a guy like that, man. And this is why the Lord has his true man on the outskirts. You know, we're on that high mountain and we're looking down at the bullshit that's going on. And we see a whole lot of bullshit, man. And we just have to keep blowing that trumpet and calling it out. Because the righteous that are in the midst of that, they're going to be pulled up out of that by hearing these words through the Spirit, you know? Just like just like Abraham told the Most High when Lot was in, when he was in Sodom and Gomorrah, he asked the Lord, "Will you destroy that city if there be one righteous in it?" The Lord said no. He asked him, "Will you destroy that city if there be 5 in it?" He said no. So we're out here and we're bringing out the message, the true message, and the real sincere ones are going to be led by the Spirit of the Lord out of that. Okay, out of the bullshit, out of the den of snakes. Okay? So let me get another precept. Psalms 31 and verse 6. "I have hated them that regard lying vanities, but I trust in the Lord." So we have a righteous hatred, man. If Yahushua was on the scene right now, he's seen the things that guys are doing these last days, the Lord will completely rebuke him. The Lord wouldn't be dealing with a lot of guys if he was actually on the earth right now, man. Because a lot of guys are full of shit. It says, "I will be glad and rejoice in thy mercy, for thou hast considered my troubles, that have known my soul in adversities, and hast not shut me up into the hand of the enemy. Thou hast set my feet in a large room. Have mercy upon me, O Lord, for I am in trouble. My eye consumed with grief, yeah, my soul and my belly." And this is why we're going strong, man. You would have never thought that brothers were going through hell by how much we're pushing. You know what I'm saying? But it's the Spirit of the Lord that's upon us. And this is why you trust in the Lord. You cast your burden upon the Lord, and the Lord's going to help you out. You know? Guys don't get comfort from the scriptures. And this is why they're not pushing the videos, because the Lord's not putting his Spirit upon them to push these videos. All right? It says, "I was a reproach upon my enemies, but especially among my neighbors, and a fear to my acquaintances. They that did see me without fled from me. I am forgotten as a dead man out of a mind. I am like a broken vessel. For I have heard the slander of many. Fear was on every side. While they took counsel together against me, they devised to take away my life. But I trusted in thee, O Lord. I said, thou art my power." Right, as for my house, we're going to trust and we're going to fear the Lord. Okay? No matter what hell comes upon us. You see? Because the true men of the Lord in these last days, they're going to be in a certain mindset to really just push the truth, man. And no one is going to keep them from getting their crown. So, with that being said, if you're around lukewarm dudes and dudes that are not really fearing the Lord, you really got to ask yourself, what are you doing, man? Because at any time when shit hits the fan, these dudes might switch up on you. You know what I'm saying? That's Satan in the flesh right there. You got to get the hell away from that. But that's all according to the will of the Lord. You know, many times the Lord just allow you to stay with lukewarm dudes because your ass ain't right to get your ass destroyed. All right. It says, my times are in thy hand. Deliver me from the hand of my enemies and from them that persecute me. Make thy face to shine upon thy servant. Save me for thy mercy's sake. Let me not be ashamed, O Lord, for I have called upon thee. Let the wicked be ashamed, and let them be silent in the grave. Right, and this is a psalm of David, you see? And this is what David was praying to the Lord during the time where he was trying to establish his kingdom, being chased by the house of Saul. So in these last days, you know, through the Spirit, we're being crucified by the house of Saul. But guess what? The house of David are waxing stronger and stronger because we put our trust and our faith in the Lord. And the house of Saul, they put their faith and trust in what men think of them. They put their faith and trust in their own chariots. They don't trust the Lord. You see, this is why the Lord is taking the spirit off of them, and they're becoming weaker and weaker. And they can't hold this image up anymore. As you know, we're getting closer and closer to the last days, closer and closer to the return of Yahushua. They can't hold that image up anymore. The Spirit is revealing all things, man. And so the true worshipers in these last days, they're going to worship the Lord in spirit and in truth. Okay? Jumping down to verse 21, it says, blessed be the Lord, for he has shown me his marvelous kindness in a strong city. For I said in my haste, I am cut off from before thine eyes. Nevertheless, thou heardest the voice of my supplications when I cried unto thee. O love the Lord, all you his saints, for the Lord preserveth the faithful, and plentifully rewardeth the proud doer. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart, all ye that hope in the Lord. And the Lord is strengthening our hearts, man. You see? And this is why we keep doing what we're doing non-stop, 25/8. We keep pushing out these videos, pushing out the word of the Lord to glorify the Lord as much as possible, man. Because when the Lord comes back, every man is going to be rewarded according to the deeds that he has done in his body. You see? Every man is going to be rewarded according to what he has done for the Lord. And many men are going to be put to death because they sat on the Lord's talents. But for the sincere men out there, they actually understand what they're involved in. They're actually pushing the word. All right? They're actually doing the will of the Father, feeding his sheep. They're going to be rewarded by salvation. And this is what we're seeking at the end of the day. So with that, I pray that was edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Makakwadash. Until the next time I say, Shalom.